All right, hello, and welcome back to the channel. Another installment of Walk and Talk with Jimmy. Thank you for clicking on this video. It's your first time on the channel. I've been a retail leader for about 20 years or so. Worked for Cabela's, Toys R Us, currently Apple, and recently turned 40 in this life this year. Some of the things I learned in my perspective. Today I want to share 4 steps or 4 tips that I've used to make preparing for difficult conversations easier, or to make difficult conversations easier. There's really no way to make difficult conversations easy, or we wouldn't call them difficult conversations. But these are things that I think I've proven to be able to have these conversations, and I think limit the blowback. So the first tip that I have is prepare with empathy and clarity. And what I mean by that is that nobody wants to have a difficult conversation. And a lot of times you're probably delivering news that's tough to hear. And so one of the things that I like to do if I'm delivering bad news or tough news is think about, how would I like to hear that? What's the best way to get somebody in a mindset to hear tough news? And I can tell you what it's not, is dragging out that conversation or dragging out that issue longer than what it needs to be. And so one of the things that I like to do to prepare is make sure that I want to be really clear and make sure that the individual that I'm speaking to is going to have the right takeaway. The second step that I think is really important is focus on the problem or the issue, not the person. Usually in difficult conversations, it's never personal. Whether we're giving feedback for something that somebody done to us, or we're having a difficult conversation at work because somebody hasn't had expectations, it's important to assume positive intent and that everybody is doing their best. And so making it about the issue and less about the person, should never be about the person, is going to make that difficult conversation go a lot easier. And that's going to allow you to keep the conversation to the most important parts, which should be the issue. The third tip that I have for preparing for these difficult conversations is listen to understand and not respond. Very rarely should these type of conversations be one-sided. Actually, I can't think of very many situations where you're going to have a one-sided difficult conversation. And so it's really important to give the other party an opportunity to speak. And when they do speak, you're not listening to respond. You're listening to have a really good understanding of their perspective and where they're coming from. And the fourth tip I have for preparing for difficult conversations is find mutual next steps. And I think this is often something that's really prepared upon. In difficult conversations, it's not about creating winners or losers. It's about hopefully finding win-win situations where both parties can align. It doesn't mean that you always have to agree or that every difficult conversation is going to be a happy ending. But having really clear next steps can protect the experience of all parties involved. So hopefully if you clicked on this video, this has been a helpful topic. These have been instrumental in my career in helping me be a leader that's clear, but hopefully also compassionate. I'm not an overly educated individual. I've shared that several times. I didn't finish college. I've had life happen, and I try to always understand that life is always happening. And as a person that leads people, I try to leave space for that. But there's times where, we have to be reinforced expectations or set standards. And I don't know anybody who loved that work. And I think both parties keeping in mind that everybody is doing the best that they can is really, really important to creating these win-win scenarios. So if you like the video, please share it with somebody else that'll benefit from it. And if you haven't done so already, subscribe to the channel. We're definitely trying to grow this channel. And currently, the majority of the people watching are not subscribed. So if you've watched a couple videos already and you like what you see, hit a subscription. It's going to help me get bigger and better guests on the channel as we grow. All right, y'all. Thank you for clicking on it. I'll see y'all soon.